Ethan,
Yo, what's good?
my guy. Very anticipated interview, but man, I'm really glad we're here. And let me just start by saying that I am genuinely so proud of you. I'm just so proud of you. I'm so
I
proud of you.
appreciate that.
Hell
Appreciate
yeah,
that, bro.
man. We're here to congratulate you and ask you a couple questions, bro.
Alrighty.
Bro, let's start from the top, right? Like, tell me, actually, just a little bit about yourself, Where are you from? How old are you? What are your hobbies?
I'm from Florida, like Central Florida. I'm 18. I like to antique, collect, like to fossil hunt. Big into writing,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy music, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Um,
Awesome stuff,
like
bro.
thrifting, fashion, all that.
Awesome, bro. And I mean, how was life before DPDR and your panic attacks and all that?
Honestly, really, really good. I mean, simple. It like nothing crazy. It was just day-to-day stuff. Was
Day-to-day
able to live
stuff,
my life just
high
normally.
school stuff,
Yeah,
work, normal.
exactly. Yeah,
And
pretty much just that.
how would you say your world kind of flipped upside down, What started it, What
But
started it? Let's go through there.
a lot of it was probably from like heavy weed smoking. Honestly, I used to smoke like all day, every day, and I was
Yeah.
just like constantly fried all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think that was a big part of it. But it was just crazy, getting hit with all these panic attacks and stuff. Like I couldn't even get out of bed. Like I was too scared to leave my room. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't work. Wasn't getting shit done around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy stuff.
Terrible, man. Terrible. I remember. And how long did that last for you between like the first panic attack until, we started working together?
Uh,
Like almost
uh
a month or something like that?
yeah, it was close to a month. I'd say like 3.5 to 4.5 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I told you this on our first call that you were extremely lucky to have reached out so
Right,
early. I
right.
mean, how do you feel about that, knowing that you did catch it before it got worse and now it's just gone?
Honestly, really good. Like, I'm glad I was able to figure out like what my problem was and be able to manage it to where it didn't get to the point where it ruined my life for a long amount of time.
Man, exactly. I mean, look, a lot of people in your shoes would have probably just like waited it out to see if like something
Right.
changed. What kind of made you realize that like waiting it out was not something you wanted to do?
Um, I don't know. I don't like if how do I word this? When I realize there needs to be a change made, I try to do it.
Right.
Like if I can see that there's something wrong, I'm gonna try to, correct that. And I guess I just kind of realized that that wasn't normal at all, and that that needed to be fixed. And so I just started figuring out how to fix it.
There we go. There we go. Gotcha, man. And what did you try? Like, what solutions did you try before you even reached out to me?
Um, oh, I tried like breathing techniques. I tried,
Classic.
yeah, I tried just like listening to music, like calm music.
Hmm.
Um,
You ever like
but
consider therapy? Oh, you did consider therapy at a certain point.
yeah, I did, and I even went to a couple
Oh, you did.
therapy sessions. Yeah,
How was
but
that?
they were all right. The therapist was
All
really
right.
nice, but she just told me basic information, really. A lot
Right.
of it was breathing techniques. And the only thing that she told me that was anything similar to what you did was yoga. I mean, not yoga, meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah,
Classic. Gotcha. And I mean, look, a lot of people in your shoes also decide to, they tell me like, Andres, thank you so much, but
mm,
I think I should go down the therapy. Like my parents really think that I should do therapy. What would
right.
you kind of say to those people before, they find out the
Um,
hard way?
I would say it's realistically just not worth it, honestly,
Hmm.
because at least in my experience, all they did was just tell me what I already knew.
Right.
And it was more like a restatement of my problem than an actual correcting of my problem. So there wasn't really like any room to like change it. It
Hmm.
was just like the same old, like, yeah, like you're telling me that I'm dealing with all of this stuff, but I know that I need to know how to fix it. I need an actual like game plan, and
Game
that's
plan,
what they
action
weren't
plan.
giving me. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And I mean, do you feel like just your local therapist is like knowledgeable about DPDR and knows how to overcome it, or is DPDR like, just a separate beast type of
I
thing?
would say it's honestly its own separate thing because I've struggled with anxiety since middle school, and
Mm,
this was like a whole totally different form of that. And
yeah,
when I went to therapy, that's all they were recognizing it as was
right.
anxiety.
Yeah, that's super common as well,
Hmm.
And I tell people all the time, I'll probably make a whole nother video about this one day, but
Yeah.
this therapy, like, it is crazy because the first thing you search up, like how to get rid of derealization,
Hmm.
therapy, talk therapy
Yeah.
is like number
Yeah.
one, which is like
Hmm.
mind-boggling to me because I mean, I don't want to go into a rant, but I think that the more you think about it, the more you
The
talk
worse it
about it, the worse
gets.
it gets.
Yeah,
As
it's
simple
all a
as that.
manifestation thing. You're
That's
manifesting the negative.
exactly. And on top of the fact you're expecting results from someone who's never been there and who's never experienced
Exactly.
DPDR.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't want to go on a rant, but got some
I feel
questions
you.
for you, brother. Yeah, I mean, what would you say were your most debilitating symptoms? You know?
Um, the panic attacks were I would say the biggest factor into
Hmm.
it. Like they would just get me to the point where I was so scared that like I was having trouble breathing, and
Yeah,
like I couldn't even get out of bed. Like it was absolutely insane. But like the other thing was like the derealization and depersonalization itself. It literally felt like I was like watching my life through my eyes, like behind
there
a
we
like a
go.
glass wall. Like it was so weird. Like I couldn't recognize myself in the mirror. Like it was all insane.
Insane, bro.
Just
Insane. I've
felt
been there, man.
unreal.
Unreal. The whole experience, unreal.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, that's super relatable to me and probably so many people. Like watching your life behind your eyes, just not feeling
Yeah.
real. Like it's just an out of body experience. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
it is.
Um, any physical symptoms you experience, like vision,
Yeah.
things like that? Just
Yeah,
heart
my vision.
palpitations, things like that.
Yeah, I would get heart palpitations. And that would honestly that would start to cause my panic attacks.
Yeah, yeah, of
Uh,
course.
but yeah, I would get really bad heart palpitations, but the vision thing was also really bad. My vision would get like foggy or blurry in a way. It's hard to describe, but it would just like I would be looking around and I could tell what everything was, but it just felt like it was all fake.
Damn. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it feels like. And in this journey, did you ever feel like, or during these experiences, did you ever feel like you were the exception? Like you were that one person that like just couldn't recover, or that one person that's like was different from everyone else you've seen online?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing that I was worried about was that
Damn.
it like it wasn't DPDR and I was just wasting my time with it and that I just wasn't ever gonna get better.
Yeah. What did you feel like it was at a certain point?
I had no idea, honestly. That's what was confusing me so bad about it was I genuinely just didn't know what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I personally thought at a certain point like I was going schizophrenic or I was like in
Yeah,
psychosis, like crazy stuff, man. But I'm glad that again, the fact that you're here, like how grateful do you feel of the
bro,
fact that we
I'm
caught it so early?
bro, so
Like
grateful.
like we saved you months, years, potentially decades of
Yeah,
struggle, literally,
no,
just
literally,
off that one
yes.
like that one decision.
Yeah, bro. Absolutely grateful for that. So thankful. Like absolutely grateful for you, the program that it did quite literally did save my life, honestly.
Wow, man, that makes me so happy, bro. That makes me so happy. Awesome, bro. Yeah, man, like what was your lowest point, would you say, with DPDR? Do you remember a specific moment or night or day where you're just like, man, I can't live like this anymore?
Um, it was probably about uh I would say the first couple days into it, and like I tried to get up for work, and I quite literally just started freaking out. Like
Yeah.
like straight panic attack as soon as I woke up. Nothing felt real, and I had to call out of work because I just couldn't go in.
Damn, I remember you told me that
Hmm.
before
I
we
think
worked
that was
together,
definitely
of
my
course.
lowest point there.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. Awful, bro. How many panic attacks did you have? A
Oh,
bunch?
yeah, a solid 30.
30. Jesus. Yeah, man. I mean, everyone kind of experiences DPDR differently. Like for me, I had multiple. I would say like maybe 5 to 10. But
Hmm.
then I've had a bunch of people come to me that I've, more like you know.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me like on our first call, it was like every day at a certain
Hmm.
point. You were having a
Yeah,
panic
it
attack every
was.
day.
Well, it wasn't just every day. Like I was having multiple every day.
You
I would
did say
have,
that.
yeah, I was having like five a day.
Same. And what thoughts or fears did you have about like the possibility of, you know, the program not working or you just not recovering?
Just the fact that I was never going to be able to live a normal life again, realistically.
Man,
Worried
same.
that I wouldn't be able to work, wouldn't be able to do anything. It would just be like this reclusive person, trapped in his bed all the time. That's what I was scared of. Like too scared to even get out of bed.
Exactly. And was there a moment where you felt like, or you thought like, what if this doesn't work? What if I'm what if I'm investing all this money and it's not gonna work, you know?
I mean, yeah, when I first started, of course, that was one of the thoughts that I had. But I tried to, not have that thought and,
Hmm.
keep my brain focused on the fact that I could recover.
Good.
Um, Tried to, keep that idea in my head, and to not, manifest the negative side of it.
Yeah, of course. And that's super hard in the moment, super
It
hard. Because
is, yeah,
like,
and it was
your anxiety's like pushing you and it's like, don't
exactly
do it, or what if this, what if that? And then you're just like, what do I do? And then it's like, you know
right.
what, let's do it, you
It's
know?
like, yeah, it's a whole like circle, just around and around with that idea that you'll never
Yeah,
get better.
yeah. I know. And I mean, what really made you kind of reach out to me for help in the first place?
Um, well, I had been scrolling on TikTok and I was trying to do research on, like my symptoms and stuff and figure out what I had. And I came across
Mm,
one of your videos where you were talking about DPDR,
mm,
and I realized that was probably, what I had and what I was dealing with.
yeah.
And so like I went onto your profile and I watched through like I think all of your videos, honestly. And then I went over to your Instagram and I was looking at like your program and all the stuff that you have, like your highlights for it. And I was like, okay, I was like, I'm gonna reach out to this guy.
Oh yeah.
'Cause this seems like it's gonna work. This seems like it might be what I need. And sure enough, it was.
Awesome, bro. And I remember you reaching out specifically. You were like, man, I'm motivated. I need this gone. Like I promise, like I'm not here to waste your time or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
just like, you know what? Like, I like this kid. And then I'm just like, boom, boom. We texted, got on a call, made it happen.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. I mean, what made you decide to, commit to the program? What stood out to you about like, on our call, I'm sure I walked you through it. Or maybe just about me, like what just stood out was like, yeah, like this is what
Um,
I need.
I think the fact that you had struggled with DPDR yourself and overcome it.
Right, right.
Um, And then also the fact, like honestly, the fact that you're young, because most of the time I see
Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
programs, it's like older people, and the fact that you're young makes it more relatable in a sense.
Absolutely.
Um,
That's very common. I've
so
heard that a lot. Yeah,
yeah, so I feel like that was the biggest thing with it, honestly. Um, it just seemed all around like the best option.
absolutely. Good, man. And what was your first week inside the program like? I remember specific, like within like I think on day 4, day 5, you like you saw yourself in the mirror and you told me that you actually
Yeah,
like felt like yourself, like you recognize
yeah.
yourself.
I really enjoyed the program a lot. I enjoyed working through all of it. The first week, the first couple of days specifically were a little rough, like trying
Mm.
to, actually get my mindset right and get myself into the program realistically. Because yeah, I was in it, but I had to actually be in it.
You have to actually start,
Yeah, exactly. But once I did that, it was a breeze, honestly.
Exactly. It's that first step that's honestly the hardest,
It really
getting out
is.
of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
committing to something. I feel like that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
not it's not anything about like actionably. It's just like literally committing to something
Yeah.
and
It's
doing it
difficult. Yeah.
100%. And what do you think is like, I don't know, like just a couple things that really contributed to such a fast recovery for you? Was it that was it a mindset shift? Was it something I provided maybe in the video modules? What really made it click for you?
It was definitely a lot of it was a mindset shift.
Mm,
But also like what you said throughout the modules, like breaking out of my comfort zone. That was also a big thing. And like my daily like non-negotiables, those
mm,
were that played a big part into it too, because those
mm,
little steps, became habits and became routine. So that definitely helped quite a bit.
awesome.
Actually being able to recover.
Awesome. Awesome. And what do you think if you had to choose like one thing that contributed to like your recovery, what would you say it was? Was it just like having me along your side or I don't know, you tell me.
Honestly, yeah. Realistically, just like the mentorship in general, just having somebody who can relate to what I'm going through, but also show me how to get through it. That definitely was pretty much everything. That's what did it.
Awesome. 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 I love it. And I mean, what do you think my mentorship and reality reconnect in general is so different and special between anything else you see online, really, and like the general advice and just like therapists and things like that?
Honestly, I'd never really seen anything like your program before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what stood out to me is I had never seen anything like it before. All of your research and stuff is backed by facts and science, and you have a bunch of different options for a bunch of different things throughout the whole course. So it's really, one size fits all with it. It's not, tailored to a specific thing other than DPDR itself. That's the
Exactly.
only specific thing about it. Everything else is entirely flexible and manageable.
Flexible. Yeah. I mean, look, that's the whole thing, right? Like the way I approached your situation was a little bit different how I approach other people's.
Mhm.
And Um, that's what it is. That my mentorship means being flexible to
Exactly.
the client.
Right.
Um, I was gonna ask you like how did you manage any like little setbacks or little moments? We all have them where it's
Yeah.
challenging. How did you manage that?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I try not to let myself have setbacks. But when it would come down to it, like there would be times where I would get, I would feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack at work. But I
Uh-huh.
would just, take a step back, breathe, remind myself that I'm good,
Of
and
course.
try to go back and think about what I was learning in the modules and in the course.
Right, like the responses we've talked about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. And how big of a role would you say like discipline and consistency was in your recovery?
Consistency is absolutely key with it. Honestly, you can't recover without the consistency. There's just no way.
No way.
You have to stay disciplined to everything in throughout the whole program.
And what would you say to someone who's like, okay, that's cool. So that probably means I could do it myself, right? Like, they said say they've had it for a couple months now.
Mhm.
And they're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be consistent. Where do you think that could go wrong?
They're not gonna know what to do,
They're not gonna
is
know
the
what to
thing.
do.
Like,
Think so.
yeah, like they can stay consistent, but consistent with what?
That's
Like
true.
they
Damn,
they
that's a good
don't they
point.
don't they don't know what they're doing. I mean, realistically, yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. I was
Yeah,
so lost. I would not have known what to stay consistent with and
right,
you know, stay. What am I trying to say here? Like stay devoted to.
right, exactly. Do you think that what's more important, kind of I mean, I wouldn't say what's more important, but just overall, how big is this commitment? That initial commitment, like, all right, I don't care. I'm just gonna get it done. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go all in, you know?
I mean, yeah, it's really important. That's a really big part of it. That's. I mean, that is the first step, and that's how
First step.
you get to recovery. You have to be able to, take that step and be like, okay, I'm done, with DPDR. I'm gonna change myself.
Exactly. And that's literally why one of the prerequisites to even working with me or hopping on a call with me is that I have to know you're at that point. Like I remember
Exactly.
if I asked you a bunch of times, like 1 out of 10, how motivated would you say you are? You know? And if that answer isn't honestly 9 or 10, maybe I let 8 slide, maybe. If that answer
Right.
is not 9 or 10, just not gonna happen,
Yeah,
because I can't help someone that's not willing to be helped. That's not at that
exactly.
point, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, they have to be in
And
that mindset to want to be helped.
exactly. And that's honestly one of the biggest reasons why, like, still to this day, like, I don't even know if you knew this, but like, all my clients have recovered or on the way to recovery, like 100% of them.
Hmm.
And it's because, again, I'm very selective with who I let in. Do
Exactly.
you feel like that's a good approach to things to like really tailor down to the motivated person, not just the average person?
I think absolutely, yeah. Because you're not going to get anywhere with somebody who's not wanting to break free. You're not going to get like somebody who answers a 5 out of 10 with, how motivated are you or how badly do you want to get rid of DPDR? They clearly don't want to get rid of it that bad. So they're
Yeah.
not going to follow through and they're not going to stay consistent with the program. So I would say absolutely that's important that you keep it to the select few who do want to actually get away from DPDR.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I love that. Thank you for the feedback, man. And was there a specific moment when you realized like, wow, I actually I'm normal again. Like I'm good.
Honestly, the day that I was able to recognize myself in the mirror again, like I was at
Really?
work. Yeah, I
That's
was at
awesome.
work
And
and it
that
had
was
been
like,
weeks.
yeah, and that was like literally 4 or 5 days in, quite
Yeah.
literally. And I
Hmm.
mean, even though I received your message and I was like, that's awesome, like
Hmm.
I don't officially count that as 100% recovery
Right.
yet. Like
Exactly.
even though you might have been, I still say like you recovered fully in 9 days. That's kind of way I fully acknowledged
Hmm.
that, like, all right, he's good to go, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Because I wouldn't have considered myself fully recovered at that point either. Because just
Right.
because I was able to recognize myself again doesn't mean that I was fully myself again.
Yeah, and how does that feel? Like, how does it feel like to be 100% recovered? Like, do you actually just feel normal like you did before?
I do, honestly, yeah. It's really nice. It's really refreshing. I honestly feel better than I did before because like now
Exactly.
I have a better routine. I have like a better schedule. It's so much better.
Exactly. I love it. And that's such an important part of the program, bro. It's like,
Mhm.
I tell people this all the time, especially on our calls. I say, like, listen, I can get you to a full recovery, no problem. Literally, like, it's light
Mhm.
work for me at this point.
Yeah,
But what I really want to make sure is that after you fully recover, that you actually go and succeed, go and like go be
exactly.
something, go do whatever you want to do,
Right.
you know? Yeah, man. I mean, what are some things you're doing now that you before thought like there's no way, like you might never do again?
Working being the biggest one, honestly. I didn't think I was going to be able to keep my job because I had just gotten a job and then the
Yeah, I
DPDR
remember.
and I had to call out for the first 2, 3 days. I don't remember now. Um, but now that I've been working, it's nice to be able to work again. And that was genuinely something I never thought I'd be able to do was be able to work and be able to have a job. But doing that now is great.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. And by the way, I mean, we're still planning on seeing each other very, very soon.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go work out. We're gonna go to get some lunch, but that's definitely
Yeah.
something I'm looking forward to, man. Of
Yeah. Oh,
course.
that was another thing was I didn't ever think I was going to be able to drive again either.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah. I used to be so scared to get behind the wheel because I thought like, what if I have a panic attack while I'm driving?
Exactly.
Or
Same.
like, what if I like everything
Just
just doesn't
crash
feel real
out. What if you
anymore?
just
Yeah,
crash out?
exactly.
I had that
Exactly.
so bad, man. Like,
Yeah.
and it was scary, like even driving with my girlfriend, just like casually, like
Mm,
going to dinner. And in my
right.
head, I'm just like, who is even controlling this wheel? Because you're seeing your
Exactly.
life behind your eyes.
Hmm.
So you're like, who is even controlling this wheel? Like, what if I just decide to freak out?
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like,
What if I just swerve off the road and I hit us into the ditch? Or I ram into that tree? It's crazy.
it's insane, man.
But like now I drive, I'm always all around everywhere. I DoorDash on the side. So
You
like I'm
literally drive like
yeah,
for a living.
exactly. Or it's
Damn.
great.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. I mean, and what would you say to someone who's like currently experiencing DPDR and they feel like recovery is not possible? You know, they were in your shoes. They were like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this.
I mean, I would tell him honestly that I felt the same way. I didn't think it was going to be possible, but at the same time, I knew it would never be possible if I didn't at least try. So there's no point in not trying.
Exactly. Exactly. And, you know, it is possible, right? You would tell them it
Exactly,
is
it is.
possible.
Yeah, it is possible.
It is possible. It's more than possible. You
Exactly. You just
literally
have to
did
push your
it, man,
mindset.
in such a quick timeline. Even I was impressed, honestly. Like, I think I told you this too. Like, Ethan, don't be surprised if you recover under 28 days, right?
Yeah, you
I think I
did. Yeah,
told
that
you.
was one of the first things you told me.
Yeah, I told you that because, um, I mean, look, you had it for about a month before reaching out to me, so it just didn't stick as much. Even though you had it severely, subconsciously,
Right.
your neurological connections aren't as strong as someone that's had it for like
Exactly.
6, 7, 8, 9 months, years, you know?
Hmm.
But again, just awesome, awesome. And it makes me feel so good, bro, that you actually committed and you actually recovered and now it's said and done, you know?
Bro, hell yeah.
And yeah, man, and what would you say to someone right now who's like currently struggling, they're on the fence, you know, they've seen my results, they're about to get on a call with me, they have the funds, but they're just scared to actually invest in themselves.
I would tell him to honestly take the leap of faith because there's nothing to lose here
Hmm.
because you're not going to lose with the program. With the
No,
program, you're gonna be fully recovered.
exactly. Exactly. Awesome, man. Awesome. Do you regret investing in
Not at
working
all.
with me?
Not at all. One of the best things I've ever done.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. I mean, any last words you'd say to someone who's, you know, put yourself in their shoes, you know, any last words you'd like to say to someone struggling right now with DPDR?
It's definitely overcomable. It's just an obstacle and you got to get around it realistically. Um, it's one of those things where it seems like it's going to be impossible, but it's not. And there's always a way to do something if you put your mind to it. But you have to be set on, fixing the problem.
Bang, bang. What a way to finish it. I mean, I'll elaborate a little bit more on that. You have to want it so bad. There's no other
Exactly.
way around it. You have to want it so bad. And if you don't want it, if you know, there's no problem in being hesitant, by the way, especially when
Right.
committing to a program, investing, whatever. It's you should be hesitant. Like that
Right.
anxiety, literally, like your current state, like even you, Ethan, when we were on that first call, like I could tell, like the anxiety was there, bro. Like, you know, it
Mhm.
wasn't like a, oh yeah, man, let's do it. It was more like, you know, like
Yeah.
let's do it, you know, because that anxiety wants you to stay stuck. You know, that anxiety
Hmm.
literally thrives on
Exactly.
doubt, on fear, on what if it doesn't work, on what if a billion things, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
But as long as you're fully committed to saving your own life and me helping you, guiding you through the process, you're gonna be good as new, you know.
Honestly, yeah. That's all it is.
Awesome. Well, Ethan, bro, it was a pleasure talking with you.
It was great talking with you
Um,
too.
that's it, man. We're gonna schedule. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll text each other. We'll figure it out. I'll
Alrighty.
post it on my story. And
Awesome.
looking forward to it, brother. Man, again, it was such a pleasure guiding you through this journey. You know, one of the things that stood out to me about you was that you just committed. You know, you actually just did exactly what I told you. You know, if I told you, Ethan, I want you to do this, and I want you to text me a certain way, I want you to update me a certain way, you did it, you know,
Yeah.
and you reap the benefits of it, bro. That's literally all you have to do. I mean, what would you
Exactly.
say to someone who's about to join the program? They're like, oh, what if he makes me like climb Mount Everest?
Dude, do it. That's if that's what it's gonna take for you to get over DPDR, do it.
But even like then, like I don't like, would you say I make you do anything close to that? No,
Not at
right?
all. Honestly, what you
It's
asked
pretty
wasn't
simple.
even that difficult. No. It was just, follow the program, keep me updated, and be, especially with the updates, it was, be in detail with the updates. That's not
Right.
that difficult. It's
That's
really
it.
not hard.
That's it. That's it. And I know someone watching this right now is gonna be like, there's no way it's that easy. And I just had a client text me like 3 weeks in, and they're like, there's no way it was this simple the whole time. And
Yeah,
I'm just like,
it is.
it's awesome. All right, Ethan, awesome, brother. I will text you. I'll see you soon.
Awesome, bro.
Um,
Absolutely
that's it,
appreciate it.
brother. Super proud of you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate everything.
Of course, bro. Of course. See you soon, my guy.
All right, I'll catch you, bro.